Hey guys, here's a clip from that lady that I've shared before. Her name is Tammy Renee. Find her on Facebook and on Instagram. She's a really sweet lady. I've had a few sidebars with her. And so let's see what she has to say. And remember, these don't always apply to whatever I'm sharing as far as clips, but I think it fits almost any clip that I'll use from this group.
Listen, leaders who don't take accountability or fix the harm they cause are not emotionally mature, period. But somehow they're running entire congregations. And then we wonder why so many people sitting up under them are also emotionally immature. Because, see, immaturity flows from the top down. If the shepherd isn't healed, the sheep won't be either. If the leader can't own their damage, then the congregation learns to avoid theirs. And what makes it worse is we keep this kind of leadership in place like the ripple effect isn't destroying the church community. You can't expect emotional maturity from a church when the person leading it refuses to grow.
It's Friday night, July 31st, after work, after dinner. Let me play this for you. This is something that they shared a bit ago about what was shaping up at their national campground in Missouri.
Look what's happening at our national campground in Santa Fe, Missouri. It's so exciting. As you turn in behind what we call affectionately the haunted house, you'll see 6 new hotels.
Let's put a bookmark here. New hotels. So I have broached this subject before about them having hotels. Do they rent them out at other times of the year? It doesn't seem that they would even be ready to accommodate something like that. Not just the land and all, but government paperwork and whatnot. So we'll just keep an eye on this in the future.
Each hotel has 11 bedrooms and a gathering room.
Okay, so this next part I'm going to say out loud. Even though yesterday morning I woke up and I was thinking about the conference, and a thought came to my mind that I didn't think I would say out loud, but I'm going to. And you know how you get like one of those crazy thoughts that races through your head, like one of those people that used to streak in the 70s, just real fast across the field or across the street. I had a thought like that. A buck naked thought just raced on by. And I was thinking about something that was said and, just all the delight going on. What a blessing it's going to be. It's going to be such a blessing. It's going to be so many things happening. But there's going to be some jacking up going on. There's going to be some tasty gossip coming out from over the bully pulpit where it says God is love. It won't be loving. It will be tales of conditional love and the consequences of making Mike unhappy. So there's that to look forward to. 2 nights ago, while scrolling through some different videos, a recommendation came up to me about places where people hide cameras in Airbnbs and in hotel rooms. So I was intrigued. It wasn't a long video, and I watched it. And I'm going to share a part of it here before we continue.
There's a hidden camera in this room right now, and most travelers would walk right past it. Stories of hidden cameras in Airbnbs and hotels are flooding the news, and the creeps who hide them are counting on you not knowing where to look. Look up because the next camera gives the creeps a bird's eye view, the smoke detector. It's mounted to the ceiling, it aims straight down. Next up, anything plugged into the wall could be a potential camera, including the humble USB charger. This one is tricksy because it actually does work as a charger. That means it doesn't really look out of place, and since it's plugged into the wall, it has a constant stream of power. In addition to small chargers, cameras are also often hidden in those bigger multi-port USB hubs, the kind you would assume that the host left out for you to be helpful and would never suspect that there's a camera staring back at you. And it's not just the chargers. Sometimes it's the outlet itself.
A vacationer's nightmare came true when they found cameras hidden in outlets in 2 bathrooms in their Airbnb.
The tiny cameras were superglued behind the faceplate, peeking through these tiny little pinholes, aiming straight at the toilet and shower. It happens in hotels too. In one hotel ring, police found spy cameras hidden in TV set-top boxes, hair dryer holders, and outlets across 30 different hotels. A guest in Marrakesh noticed a little framed photo above the tub that hadn't been there before. Anyone can buy a picture frame hidden camera like this on Amazon, so this could easily happen in real life. Next is one that you'd never suspect. It could be out in the main living area, but it's more likely to be in the bathroom as well.
This code hook looks normal at first, but it's made to record your every move.
Then there's this one, the pen. Imagine this sitting on a desk in a bedroom mixed with a cup of other pens. This pen totally beat my hidden camera detector. It has no Wi-Fi or power cord, it just records to the card inside. Which brings us to the sneakiest one of all.
It looks like an air freshener, it smells like an air freshener, but police say it was really an invasion of privacy.
When I recalled that they made these hotels with gathering places, I thought two things. One, and I'll preface it by saying this, I think I've prefaced like 3 times already. It's all right. I will circle back around. There was a time, even when I first started back in this in 2023, there's no way I would have even entertained that idea that they could possibly do something like bug rooms, bug them, or have a camera and watch and listen. And why do I believe that now? They're people with darkness in them, and we've been seeing that more and more. And they have snitches, not like the kind that fly around in Harry Potter, but they have snitches. And Mike talks about it. That's how we know. We also know from stories that have been told by more than one person to the same event through the years. I snitched myself. Anybody can do it. Anybody can do it and think they're doing something humane. I don't know. Again, I don't think there's thinking involved. But there are differences in how you snitch. When people record, such as what those 2 women did that pretended to be friends to another lady, and Mike said it. He put the details out there. He praised them for their behavior over the pulpit in Graham. And then now, he told the story the other night, we're going to pick apart, that's going to be the next video. You have to keep putting these videos aside because Mike keeps getting darker. I have to keep shelving ones that I thought were pretty awful to respond to ones that are even more awful. I asked this question a while ago, maybe last year when all the stuff came out about all the abuse. I asked the people in the group, how far will they go? How far will they go to defend and to stay in a group that behaves this way? And I gotta say, in my own opinion, that I see the gap closing between the behavior of Mike and the jailed House of Prayer Christian church leader, Dennis. And I don't think that's a stretch. I'll put aside some of the more egregious stuff of Dennis, but Dennis had a progression, and we see the progression in Mike. Where will it stop? Where will it end? Not just Mike, his wife too. They are not nice people. They are not loving. Love should never be only given if you remain in a corporation and if you remain compliant to the leader's desires. And that's not exaggerating at all. People get praised. And when there are people who latch on to the idea that, if I do this or that, I can gain positive attention. When it's for that, and when you take a circumstance and you lie about it, or you record something and Mike lies about it, he wants that information. It reminds me of, fortunately, and I've mentioned this before, fortunately, so fortunately, like I'm so thankful and fortunate that when we got to the Bible school in February 92, I believe the class not long before us, one of the classes not long before us, was the last time that Davis, another dark soul, required the students to write, I believe it was called This Is I paper, as part of a special psychology class. As if the guy had any qualifications to teach that. He didn't. It's like junk science that he did. He would just read a book and then use it as the basis for a class. And this was an assignment that had to be done. Students had to reveal the story of their lives with as many personal and private details for Davis, supposedly just his eyes, to read. It was done under the guise of a mandatory special psychology class. And it was claimed that all those papers would be destroyed and discarded. And they were graded. How do you grade that? You just had to vomit out your whole life story, good and bad. I think mostly bad, onto paper for him to read it. That is nasty. How nasty are you to want to do that? When I heard of the paper, I didn't realize until later on the intimate details that people had included. I heard from people who told me what they wrote in there and how hard it was and how there were girls crying in the dorms and men in anguish. Supposedly all that, right? All their sins, all of their thoughts, all their private thoughts and private way of being. Wasn't it supposed to be under the blood? No, because the High Pope Davis had to get his eyeballs on it. That's weird. That's almost like indirect voyeurism or something. That is weird stuff. If you've watched a lot of documentaries about controlling personalities, controlling churches, controlling groups of any sort, cults, there is a high element in there, a high aspect, like high up on the list of things they do that's similar, which is confessions. The Catholic Church is one of the biggest ones for that. Father, forgive me, for I've sinned. It has been so many days since the last time I made confession. Ooh, do tell, Tracy, what did you do? It's weird. And what is it used for? Most of the time in these groups, it's for manipulation. It's to have that over your head. It's for you to have the knowledge that you bore your soul to somebody who had no right to know anything. And it doesn't matter if he read them or not. The thing is, he said to do it, and people complied. They became malleable. He could easily look and see. He could even skim those things if he wanted to and say, look at that person. I have them right where I want them. They just bore everything to me. And I've heard from people that said they didn't. They didn't tell everything. But I also know that there are people that did it and weren't worried about it because they trusted the man explicitly. There's so many things wrong with it. Let's press on. There would be a time where I would say, oh no, they would never do that. But now I'm like, who knows?
The gathering room will have countertops and a kitchenette and bar stools, a really cool place just to hang out and fellowship. Moving across the camp, past the tabernacle, there are 2 more hotels. These are the most finished of the hotels. Come down the hall with us. They're beautiful. Notice that there's a lake view in the front and in the back.
This is all just something for you to ponder and to think about, because it's not out of the realm of possibility at all. Who would have ever thought that someone would get up behind a pulpit and praise people for recording someone in such a malicious way? Who would believe that someone would talk about another brother or sister in the Lord in such a way to their leader so that that leader comes out and says just the most evil lies? It's a betrayal of the person who told the lies. It's a betrayal of the man behind the pulpit who is nothing more, proving himself more and more to be nothing more than a wolf in a costume that looks like a sheep, and with his own interpretation of what it means to be a pastor and the benefits they deserve. It's about collecting information and controlling people. And oh yeah, you may go to conference all dressed up for what? I don't know, it's a campground. And sing some songs, eat some hot dogs, But people are going to be talked about. People are going to be lied about. That's what the conferences are known for. There's nothing new under the sun for these people. If you really believe the Bible that they say they believe in and they follow, is that what Jesus did? Is that really the hallmark of Christianity? Just because men and women say they've been appointed by God over you, doesn't mean it's true. Clearly, because the Bible addresses that. So that's something you have to reconcile for yourself. In the meantime, I hope you save your money, stay home, maybe work a little more or something, maybe pack up and leave that place. And if you're thinking of that, I hope you find someone who can help you. Not just the act of leaving, the physical part, but also the way your heart and mind will be affected if you've been in there for any length of time, and if you have family and friends in there. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening.